Thank you for joining us to El Museo del Barrio's online initiative, El Museo en Tu Casa. Today with our very special Sábado Familiar edition. We're going to be learning about bomba in a very different way, which we have introduced in other workshops before. Today we are back with an active, reflective, and expressive movement workshop focused on the social and healing powers of Afro-Puerto Rican Bomba. Yelimara Concepción, a very amazing dance therapist, also focused on bomba and founder of Afro-Inspira. And without further ado, Jelly, take it away.
Yay! So hello, it's us, right? My name is Yelimara Concepción. I'm a dance movement therapist. His name is Michael Pacheco. He's our drummer, MC, producer, and everything he can do, right? We are very excited to share with you our approach to bomba. And I will just say for a little bit why, por qué un enfoque social y de sanación. Why is our focus on healing and social justice and social action and social transformation, okay? From a dance therapy perspective, a therapeutic approach, we realize that bomba needs to talk to the needs of its community, right? So it can be meaningful and it can be transformative. So there's many elements in the structure of bomba that allow that, right? And allow that to transform and change depending where we at. If you are in New York, if you're in California, every community has their own needs, desires, dreams. And every community is allowed to express them through the structure of the dance, verbal or nonverbal, to the structure of the singing, and to the structure of the drumming, okay? So bomba has that power to help you out to transform and to figure out what you need to say. La bomba tiene el poder de transformar y de ayudarte a ti a expresar cuál es tu necesidad y qué es lo que tú quieres para tu comunidad. Mike, you would like to say something?
Yes, to reinforce what Yelimara said, bomba is, although it's an old tradition, it's hundreds of years old, it still manages to live in the contemporary, right? So like she said, the different places throughout the diaspora that bomba exists, it manifests itself in different ways. There's a specific way that people from New York dance, sing, and play. There's a specific way that people from Florida or from Connecticut or from Chicago dance, sing, and play. And slowly they're creating their own sort of realities within bomba, using bomba as a tool to push forward. Also, the sort of messages in bomba, you know, the social political messages throughout the history of bomba is very important and is also sort of an indicator of where we are as a people during that time. Thinking about the old bomba songs that talk about like slaves rebelling, or the things that would happen in the old times. And when you look at the songs now that deal with things like patriarchy and deal with things like Black Lives Matter, and the songs that come out right now in the contemporary that help push us forward as a people and help us sort of analyze our current situation, cope with our current situation, and push forward and build new things. So bomba, although it's an old tradition from Puerto Rico, it definitely lives in the contemporary, and the people who are practitioners of it dictate where the style goes, where the culture goes.
So some of the elements that are in bomba, algunos de los elementos que están en la bomba and promote that kind of pushing forward, right? It's one of the Afrocentric values called call and response, el llamado y respuesta, which allows people to get into it, right? To unify it. If there's a call as a singer, bombo mi queda. And then we have the whole community responding to you, Ageda. So it creates that back and forth in order to create a message and to be solidified as a community and bring it forward, right? So it's like almost like a mantra. I call it like the little bed, like amita, where everything can be held down, right? After that we sing, after that we repicar, right? But the song helps us to hold down our message as a community. So it's embedded in the call and response. Also, it's embedded in the dance. The dancer calls, and there's a response on the drum. And the drummers, if we will have more here, they will also have their own conversation among them when they need to. There's a call for the rhythm, and the other buleadores will respond. So I will not go into specifics about what is maraca, because I know you guys already have 2 workshops of bomba with the amazing Los Pioneros de la 21 and with Bombazo Dance Co. So I wanted to bring a little other vision of how we can utilize and embrace this community expression from the island of Puerto Rico, okay? So that's a very special one, call and response, and we can play a little bit with that.
And also in Bomba, there's definitely traditional steps, songs, way to play, but it's still a live culture. It's still happening. So when you come into Bomba, you bring your own personal experience and your own personal style and your own personal talents and also your own personal things that you want to voice when you come to Bomba. So there is no wrong or right way to dance Bomba or to practice Bomba, but there is an importance of respecting the community, respecting the space, and holding yourself accountable and also lifting other people up in the space.
So let's, oh, you over there, I'm not gonna be able to hear you, but we can play of how to like do that dynamic of call and response, okay? So if I call it, Bombo Migueda, you're gonna say Agueda. This song is from Rafael Cepeda Tiles, el patriarca de la bomba from el área de Santurce de Cangrejo. And the song is about this person that doesn't know how to dance and keep coming to the bate to dance. So it's like we embrace everyone and we even highlight those situations that can be funny in our community, right? So, Bombo Migueda and Bombo Migueda, Agueda. You say Agueda, and I say la la la. Yo canto un poquito, tú me respondes. Lo que quiera es, I'm gonna tell a story. You keep telling me, and I keep developing. La canción que quiero. La 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 la. I tell the story, and you respond to me. You are letting me know that you're witness of the story as a community. Mike, don't confuse me. Right? So, el cantador, the singer, is gonna develop the storytelling of the song, right? And there's this verses that are traditional, that are being said for generations, or like people that sing the song repeat the same verses, but also there's a space to create or add to the story, right? And that's when you honor your ancestors, at the same time you're contributing to the living culture of Bomba, ¿verdad? Cuando tú puedes añadirle a la voz de la comunidad a través de una canción que en este caso es jocosa, like through this song that at this time is like kind of like funny, right? So another way that there are Afrocentric values embedded in Bomba that allows social action and healing, it's improvisation, right? There's so much power in to be able to improvise. Like right now, I keep telling a story, so I'm improvising the story, right? But the improvisation allows flexibility in our community. Improvisation allows the same thing, the funny, the humor. Improvisation allows a space for transformation, for things to change in the moment, to be in the here and now. And in therapeutic spaces, to be in the here and now is very important, because that's how you're gonna be able to transform the trauma or the issues or the struggles that you're dealing with, because you're gonna own them and be able to try to see them in a different perspective, staying present, okay? Not staying in the past, not moving too much in the future, just staying present in what you're living at the moment. So call and response and improvisation are very special Afrocentric principles that we use in Bomba to keep pushing our community forward. And last but not least, there's many of them. I'm just gonna like focus on 3. It's respect, right? In Bomba, everyone has a role. Todo el mundo tiene un rol diferente. And through that role, we are allowed to respect one another's, everyone has a space, everyone has a way to contribute to the community, okay? The same that we're at home and we're in our families, that, you know, mommy does this, papa does this, titi hace esto, everybody's contributing in order to make something move forward, right? So in Bomba, the drummer, the singer, the dancer, the community, everyone, even the person that is just hanging around next to you holding the microphone, everyone has a role in order to move forward the community, okay? Those are the 3 Afrocentric principles that I wanted to mention and highlight: call and response, improvisation, and respect. We all need that, okay? So, moving on, now we're gonna dance.
So to build off of her last statement, right, that respect, that accountability within the Bomba. Bomba is done in a circle, right? The circle in the middle of the circle is called the bate. That's the safe area where you go and you express yourself and you have a conversation with the drummer. But that Afrocentric restorative practice that exists within Bomba is something that we like to highlight, and is one of the tools that we think is most like enriching for us.
Good. So now if you were sitting down and listening, now I'm going to encourage you to stand up and kind of like stretch it a little bit, move those areas of your body that need a little bit more love, right? Eso. And from a therapeutic perspective, we use the body as a source, right? As a source of and tool for self-expression. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you how to do it, but you're gonna do it how it feels comfortable in your body, right? So if for you, all the strength is up here, so you're up there. But if you just wanna be calm and just grounded, that's totally acceptable. There's 5 families of rhythms in Bomba. We're gonna use one to start with this paseo. Paseo is when you walk around in el batey, right? And you stroll around in el batey to show yourself and to kind of ground yourself, to claim the space that you need in order to be part of the community, okay? And usually in Bomba, it's one person at a time to dance in front of the drum, the primo in this case. So this is your time to kind of like settle, to listen to the drum, to see what is happening, and also to get into your body, okay? Estamos en Bayamón, en el pueblo del chicharrón. Okay, so we are gonna do the basic step for Sika, and we're gonna do a little paseo. Mike, you can give me some Sika. So, your feet, you can see my feet. You're gonna, the tip of one foot, and you're gonna switch to the other tip of the foot. Just look at me, okay? Walk forward. Our arms as well, okay? And then go to the opposite against your core. At this point, you can put your arms right here on your waist to create the posture, the power posture that is embedded in all human beings, even animals do this power posture. Our chest is open, it's inflated, we're strong and proud of what we're doing. And swing arms. Only one arm. Open both arms. Expansion means to claim, to take over, right? We're taking the space. We're letting them know that we need the space. So that's the paseo, right? In the paseo, gracias Miriam. In el paseo, you can you take over the space. Also, you ground yourself. You're about to express yourself, right? And in Bomba, we give you a language. There's a traditional language, which is called piquetes, the movements that you do in order to talk to the drum. But also, there's a space for you to develop your own piquetes so you can tell your story with your own words, which means with your own body expression, okay? So after the paseo, it's almost like a whole ritual. After the paseo, you're gonna salute the drum. You're not gonna be like, I'm about to dance and you're gonna like just follow me, right? No, you're gonna like respect the drum and acknowledge and let him know like, hey, I'm gonna dance. Can we communicate, right? So there's many ways to say hello to the drum. Some people just do a little bow. They might use their hand, right? Sometimes they can be a little bit like funky, right? It's really up to you how you want to say hello. How you say hello to your friends? Do you say hello like, mera? Or do you say hello, hola, buenas tardes? So it depends really in your personality, how you communicate and say hello. Yes, sir.
An easy way to remember it is that it's a conversation. It's a dialogue between the dancer and the drummer. And actually, the dancer leads the dialogue, right? There's not too many traditions that do that. Hip hop is like that as well, right? If you're a DJ, the dancers dictate what you play as a DJ. Same thing happens with Bomba. So it's a conversation. And before you start a conversation, you always have to greet, salute, right? So it's that.
So from the paseo, we salute, and then we enter to the full-blown conversation, right? So I'm going to teach you a couple of traditional steps that we use in Bomba to talk, that many people will use. And then you always have a little space to be yourself, right? To become funky. So there's a lot of strength in the movements that we do in Bomba. The movements in Bomba are not weak movements. They're not like unassertive. They're very direct. They have weight. They are like grounded. They're not elevated. So sometimes we elevate the skirt, but we don't elevate our body. Our body is grounded. There's like a little bouncing in our knees, how we move to side to say something, okay? So Bomba is all about that sense of grounding, that sense of being present to be yourself, okay? So from paseo and salud, I'm gonna start introducing some piquetes. I'm gonna start with my feet, right? Because without our feet, we can't dance. So this one, I call it step, but it doesn't have a name, but we're gonna try it, okay? And it's like you're gonna shift your weight from one, de la punta del pie a la otra punta del pie, y eso allows the drummer to make a clear sound to represent that movement, okay? And it can be faster, it can be only one, or 1, 2, or you can bounce, okay? So let's try it a little bit for a couple of counts so we can get it into our bodies. So you can hear different music, because as a dancer, you're making music. Let's try it again. The rhythm that you're, with the tempo that you're making the movement. Let's try it again. Okay, so it depends up to you if you wanna have have a little pause in the middle of every change. So you can and make sure that your feet are going one after the other. It kind of like help you to direct your path, right? So if we are using movement as a metaphor, we can use this movement to kind of like create the sense that we're moving forward, that we're creating something, okay? Let's use another movement. Running. This one is very free. You can run backwards. Some people run forward too. We're gonna try to run backwards. And again, basic steps. And they make different sounds, so we can play with them, okay? Let's add a third movement, out. And when I say out, we're gonna use our arms and we're gonna open wide and big our arms, right? In a way to expressing movement out. So when we're opening up, right? When you're opening up your chest, speak out, it's like you're letting them know you're present, you're ready, you're here. And as I told you, in Bomba, movements are not so much enclosed. They're more about taking space, being proud, being strong, okay? Being ready to communicate. Let's try that again. We're gonna do the step, the running, and out. we keep changing the tempo of the music, trying to bring it to like a climax, however we're feeling in the moment, but we also can go back to ting, to our paseo. Volver al paseo nos da espacio and give us time to kind of recuperate, right? Like right now, I have to breathe. So volver al paseo, it gives you space to recuperate so you can be ready to tell another sentence with your movements. Right now, I need to breathe.
Also, there's a vocabulary in bomba, like Yelimara was hinting at before. There are some traditional moves that is done throughout the diaspora and throughout the culture, but there are also people who bring in their own movements, and every drummer is different, right? So there are like certain vocabulary that matches up. If she's doing something, I'll make a sound, and pretty much any other drummer will make that same sound. But there are other drummers that make different sounds. So there is a moment in the dance sometimes where you're just trying to try out the drummer to see like what kind of sounds he makes. Because like Yelimara said, you are making music when you dance to bomba. So yeah, so not every movement will be represented the same way sonically by every drummer, but we try.
So we're gonna try this other movement called buleo. This one is actually the only one that has a name in my understanding. So the buleo allowed us to be free in our hips and kind of also trasladarnos to, trasladarnos en inglés, translation, okay? Trasladarnos from one side to the other, right, of the space, because we want to own and claim the space. So I'm dancing in this little area because that's what is, for the purpose of the camera, that's what it works. But if I will be in a live bomba or bombazo, I will be taking all the possible space that I can, okay? So let's try this buleo, and then we keep, you know, adding one movement after the other. So at the end of the workshop, you feel that you have a couple of language to talk to the drum. So the buleo, there's a one foot that is kind of like the hip is going in, out, in, out. So it's like pivot. Is that a word? Yeah. So you, pivot is this one, right? Pivot is just like moving. So it's like a pivoting. Is that a word? You see, lost in translation something. So we're kind of like moving in, out, and this other foot is there to kind of like hold down the energy. So that buleo help us to kind of like also give like a more fluidity to the dance, and also help us to ground ourselves in our hips. So let's try it again from one side. The light went off, but I think you guys can still see me. It's okay, Mike. So, and when you try the other side, it might feel weird and funny, but you try it, okay? And this side. So let's try to incorporate the buleo to the movements that we already have been learning, right? The first one, step, step. That's not the name, but that's how I call it so I can remember it. Okay, so let's try step, step. Little jump, but when we jump, we don't jump to touch the sky. We jump to kind of like, almost like a bouncing, to traer más energía de la misma tierra, ¿verdad? So no despegamos como que los pies completamente. Nos vamos en un, ahí, ¿ok? let's add the jump to this movement phrase that we've been creating together. Conversation, right? So you're not always telling like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Sometimes you kind of like, it's a dynamic, right? So you play alone. You act like you're gonna tell him something and you kind of stop it, okay? It's a way to create more dynamics in your dance and how you're expressing yourself. A lot of times, if you are in a place of humor, de sandungueo, so you want to like have fun too. But if you're in a place of that your expression that you want to say is a little bit more serious, you might not be with that kind of dynamic of playing with the drum. You might be more assertive. Your face might be more serious. It's really about how you're feeling in the moment. That's why I say it's in the here and now, in the improvisation, that you're creating your story. What do you want to say? Sometimes it's a song that pulls you in, que te dice, you know what, I wanna dance about that. I feel connected to that story, right? Que agueda, que no sé bailar. ¿Cómo que no sé bailar? Like, you know, and they kind of like challenge you, and that's where expression is at. Or if it's a song about mal de amores, or if it's a song about strength and be together in community, or if it's a song about, right now it's raining. So if it's a song about the water, so how the water, you know, help us to like be together and in connection with one another and what it brings life to us. So, you know, it depending on the song is also your expression and what do you want to say and talk to the drum. So let's do a little bit more and then we're going to sing. And at the end, we're going to have a bombazo. So some of you get to dance and the people that are at home also get to dance. Okay? So let's put all these movements together. We're going to put a song in the background so you can start feeling that you are in a batey. It's an easy song. It says viento, right? Wind, which I need a little bit right now. It's kind of hot in here. And it helps you to kind of like ground yourself. It's about, the wind has so many meanings in Puerto Rico, right? It's an island that is, there's hurricane and there's tropical storms. Y la brisa del campito, y la brisa de la playa. So el viento has a lot of meaning in Puerto Rico. And these songs kind of like honor how the viento is involved in our daily life, and also talks about hurricanes and what is possible when the wind comes to you.
I'd like to give a shout out to the vaqueros and vaqueras out there. We're broadcasting live from Bayamón. I'm from El Barrio, Harlem. But we are here in Puerto Rico, broadcasting live to y'all back in the States. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here today.
Vaquero, ay. Viento. 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 we're gonna do this part of the singing really, really, really quick because I really want you to dance, and we have a couple of songs for you. But the singing, the important part of the using your voice is like that you're able to share, clarify the nonverbal message that you're bringing into your body, but also a community, un acuerdo, a community agreement, right? That this is what we want, this is what we need, this is who we are, this is what we like, these are our dreams, these are our struggles, these are, right? So if you're singing, I have a song that I wrote to Lolita Lebron, right? There was a moment in my life that I was looking for direction and also looking for someone that I can look up to that love and care about my country the same way that I did. I was in New York in the diaspora, so Lolita Lebron really kind of like symbolized that for me. So I created a song for her to honor her as an ancestor, but also to honor her legacy. Because our stories, when we tell them singing, people hear them, right? And we might not see them in a history book because we know what colonization does to our history, but we can sing it in our community. So our community knows who are people that have fought for our rights and for our dignity as an island. So I wrote a song to Lolita Lebron the same way that a person might write a song to their grandparent. My grandfather died, and at some point I felt that I needed to sing a song to him. So I wrote a song for him, okay? So sometimes we're like, how are we gonna do a melody? Sometimes it helps to use the same structure of bomba as an example. A classic melody right now, like viento. So you use that, ta, ta, and you change that word for a word that means something to you. So it can be a song that is relevant to your story. So if you say, rápido, ting, 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 brain, basta, basta, it's enough, basta, no quiero más, basta, abuso aquí, basta, no a la corrupción, basta, está bueno ya, basta, Wanda te vas, basta, Puerto Rico, basta, libre será, basta. Basta, right? So you use a word to change the melody, to use the melody of the song, a word that means something to you, and in that way you create your own story and you're able to share how you feel and how you're doing through bomba, right? I was gonna try to do a song with you, but I'd rather play bomba and make you dance, okay? Then kind of like do that. So, let's do this. So at some point, I'm gonna look, and if I see you dancing, I'm gonna ask Christian or whoever is back there to kind of like spotlight the video someone is dancing, and you're gonna have the chance to talk directly with the drum, how I'm doing here. So it's like a virtual ballet, but you have the experience to kind of like see how your movements are made in sound. Also, there's a space for you to use what I taught you, but also to let yourself be and use your favorite movement. If it's is dab, or it's like Orange Justice, like whatever it is that makes you feel liberated, or it makes you, or what you feel in the moment, right? So we're gonna start playing a song.
So
Mr.
to the
Mike wants-
people in the Zoom, what Yelimara is saying is that if we see you dancing and you want to dance on camera, we'll spotlight you, and I'll be able to see you in the Zoom meeting. I'll be able to see you, and I'll be able to mark your movements. We might be a little bit off, but we'll be close enough.
Yes. So that will happen. So we're gonna start singing a song, and just let yourself go. Everything I taught you right now, you can throw it or use it if that's helpful, right? But use bomba as a space for you to foster transformation, foster healing, or foster what to handle or like deal with whatever you want to deal, right? The drum has that power, and the voice too. Other voices are a little bit better than mine, but I will do my best, right? But the voice has that power to bring you in, and the drum has that power to embrace you and to hold you and care for you, okay? So try it. El cuembe que hicimos ahora mismo, ¿cuál fue? Okay, so this song, Afro-Inspira, wait a second. Afro-Inspira is, we're inspired in all these Afro-derived traditions around the Central America, South America, the Caribbean, right? So sometimes we listen to songs that are so appealing in other countries. Like this one is from Ecuador. It's about a caderona, Bena Meniate. There's so many caderonas in Puerto Rico as well that want to dance and want to like express themselves, right? So it feels relevant and also feels like a kind of we're in solidarity, sharing the same story, right? So we la bombeamos, se llama Caderona, okay? But it's not a traditional bomba song. You can go. This rhythm sounds different, right? It's called cuembe. Eso. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ven y meneate, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Te puedo ver, que yo te puedo ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, la bomba buena en mi bate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Que te veo, yo te veo bailar bomba buena. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. La bomba buena yo te canté. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, mi caderona. Caderona, ven y meneate. Qué lindo se mueve la mano y los pies. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ven y meneate, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, qué linda que lo bailó ella. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, ven a menear. Caderona, ven y meneate. Cuéntame ya. Caderona, ven y meneate. Cómo se mueven las manos, se mueven los pies. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, qué chula esta nena, yo la quiero conocer. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ven y meneate, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Qué lindo que te quiero ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven a meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Hola Miriam, habla. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, ven a meneate la bomba buena que yo. Caderona, ven y meneate. A bailar la bomba buena en mi bate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ven a meneate, ven a meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ella sabe lo que quiere pedirle el tambor. Caderona, ven y meneate. Habla, pídele al bate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven a menear. Caderona, ven y meneate. Qué bonito lo baila que yo lo quiero ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven a meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, qué lindo que lo baila esta mujer. Caderona, ven y meneate. Caderona, ven a meneate. Caderona, ven y meneate. Bomba buena, yo te toco y te canté. Caderona, ven y meneate. Pídele duro que ese tambor va a repicar. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, mi caderona. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, baila bomba, Caderona, ven y meneate. Sacude lo que yo te quiero ya ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, mi caderona. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, mi caderona, sí. Caderona, ven y meneate. Qué rico que lo baila bien. Caderona, ven y meneate. Oye, Clara, ¿dónde tú estás? Caderona, ven y meneate. Mira que yo te quiero ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Bailando bomba en mi bate. Caderona, ven y meneate. No te hagas que yo sé que tú estás ahí. Caderona, ven y meneate. Baila bomba buena, Caderona, ven y meneate. Clara, yo la quiero ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, mi caderona. Caderona, ven y meneate. Ay, caderona, mi caderona. Caderona, ven y meneate. Baila bomba que te quiero ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. Qué lindo se mueve, Clara, yo la vi. Caderona, ven y meneate. Eso, yo la puedo ver. Caderona, ven y meneate. 2 minutitos tengo yo.
Caderona, ven y
Eso.
meneate.
Pero hay alguien más que yo lo quiero ver.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Te puedo ver el dedito, baila, bailarlo bien.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Baila, baila, que te quiero ver.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Esta familia yo la quiero ver. Hola, baila, ven.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Ay, caderona, ven a menear.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Qué rico que suena, suena, eso es.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Ay, qué lindo, lindo es.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Ay, caderona, ven a menearte.
Caderona, ven y meneate.
Ay, caderona, ya se fue. Qué chévere. That was so nice. I wish I can keep playing. But at least I want to ask you to take a deep breath in, right? Because when we share and when we express, we always got to go back to our body to kind of like ground ourselves and kind of like honor that experience, right? So it's really good when we take a deep breath in. If you can, put one hand in your chest, another one on top of your belly, and deep breathing into your nose. And exhale through your mouth. And breathe it into your nose. And exhale to your mouth. And open your arms wide and big, wide and big. Oh, stretch, 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 stretch. Abre, 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 abre. Toca, toca todo. And close. Give yourself a hug, tight, tight, tight. You deserve it. You did super awesome. You gave us so much energy. We are so happy to be here with you. Thank you, El Museo del Barrio. And take a deep breath in right there. And exhale. And share all that good energy. And that's all for us. If you share that, if you can use one word to describe or summarize how you feel or how was the experience, write it on the chat and I will be able to see it later on. Gracias. Is there anything else you need from me or someone wants to jump in and take over? But muchas gracias. Nosotros somos Afro-Inspira. We're Afro-Inspira. We are in Facebook. We're in Instagram. We also give toddler bomba classes. I like the little ones. It's called Afro-Infantes. And pretty soon we're going to be teaching virtual bomba to toddlers and children, okay? Hope you join us. Check us out. Gracias al Museo del Barrio por tenernos. We are honored to be here and share with you what we do